I got diarrhea of the mouth in here, just jockey jaw jacking, and here comes Biggie talking about this and that. But this time we were talking about classic old TV because we're talking about Buddy Espen. When Buddy Espen was the Tin Man originally in The Wizard of Oz.
I did know that.
But he had to leave because he
became ill. They painted him silver. Well, I think silver iodide paint or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it almost killed him.
That's right.
So they had to revise the costume, and they gave the role to someone else because Espen was too ill.
Was there still paint on the other guy at least a little, like around the neck or something? Or
I think they must have used a different type of makeup.
I bet that's right. But wouldn't you think, so he was too ill to shoot.
Yeah.
And therefore they couldn't do it with him. I think he'd have been great as the Tin Man.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, he would have been really good.
Of course, the other guy who played it very well as well.
But you know, when you hear that song, If I Only Had a Heart, I mean, that guy's voice was perfect. I mean, Espen would have had to sing that number.
You're right. But he was a singer-dancer guy. We're just sitting here chatting about it. Now.
Old hoofers.
Yeah, that's right. He's an old singer and dancer. Now, the paint.
Vaudeville.
And the paint did a number on him now. He only lived to be 95. You can only imagine. He died. I have a personal connection to Buddy Espen.
What? No. Really?
He died on my first anniversary. Oh. My first wedding anniversary.
Ruined.
I can't
celebrate this. Buddy Espen died.
I'm going to drink a champagne toast today of all days.
Couldn't.
To 1 year of wedded bliss.
And also, on another radio show I was on in the 90s, we interviewed him. We interviewed Buddy Espen.
Well, doggy.
That's how he closed. He said, he goes, we'll let you go. He goes, well, doggy, it's been nice being on your show. That was good stuff.
What was he pushing? Did he do a book or anything?
I think it was. I think it was a Beverly Hillbillies book.
Not that you guys couldn't get great guests.
Thank you. We also had Max Baer from the Beverly Hillbillies as well.
Was he kind of jerky?
A little. He had that reputation, but he was very nice to us. He was on, and it wasn't one of those things where it was on radio stations. Traditionally, get guests. You get them for 7 or 8 minutes. They will only talk about whatever they're pushing.
Yeah, they will say, look, we'll talk to you for, like you're right, for 7 minutes, but 3.5 has to be about the new book or the new this.
So it's so hard to really get him to say anything of worth. But for him, for the guy who played Jethro, Max Baer, he was on for a half hour and enjoyed it. He seemed to anyway. He was really good, but he had that reputation. So I had to tell the host, listen. Of course, the host had that reputation, too. He had the same douchey reputation. I had to say, look, there's going to be a douche-off in here between you and Jethro if you're not careful. So be really, really nice to him is what I said. We have the good, the bad, the ugly here. And you're probably saying to yourself, wait a minute. Didn't you do this an hour ago?
Hold up.
Woo. Doing it twice today. Unprecedented.
Yeah.
Chris Demm says it's classic. Unnecessary.
What made you come to this conclusion? Why are you doing this?
I don't know. I said, let's challenge ourselves today. Do it twice.
Tuesday. Nobody's listening.
Well, I said, I know that's your least favorite day of the week, Tuesday.
Bull. It's a bunch of bull. It needs to be taken off the calendar.
And I said, let's spice it up a little and challenge ourselves to do 2 good, the bad, the uglies. Chris Demm said, big mistake. Yeah. So far, he's been 100% right. The first one was spotty.
Soon find out.
Spotty at best. This one starts with a good story that began way back in the 1950s in a school building in Texas. 2 weeks ago, they were renovating a building, the League City Community Center, which used to be a school, and they found a purse that had the name Beverly Williams in it. And 28 photographs dating back to the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and they were able to find the family of the woman that had left her purse somehow in the school behind a wall, and it had gotten walled up over the years. So they found it, and when they did, they thought, well, we'll never be able to find this person. Well, they went out on Facebook, and sure enough, now she died, the owner of the purse died in 2016. But now her family got all these pictures of her when she was young with her classmates and stuff like that. And the person who found it said it just seemed like a gift.
I didn't want to go through it too much because it looked old and I didn't want it to fall apart. I wanted to turn it in and let somebody else handle it.
And the purse was full of what looked like a wallet and ended up turning out to almost be a diary. Picture it as today's Facebook. You're putting everything down. She wrote about her love life. She wrote who she broke up with. Those photographs might be 50, 60, 70 years old, but they're still there.
I hope there's nothing embarrassing in there for her, writing about her love life and so forth. Now her kids and grandkids are reading it, so they got all this back. That's pretty cool. I thought it was nice, yeah, to find something like that.
I wonder what, if any, what do girls carry then?
Mm-hmm.
and the girls carry now in their pocketbook. Like
Same
sometimes when my wife and I, we had to go to that wedding, a formal wedding, and all like modern purses for a big event are so tiny.
Yeah.
My wife couldn't even get her phone in it.
Really?
Couldn't even fit her phone in her purse.
Wow.
So what do you carry in a standard purse?
If I was a woman,
A little bit of everything.
I think so. Rouge,
Rouge.
blush.
That's a little high maintenance, isn't it? I mean, you put
Mascara.
that at the house.
Listen, my daughter's 14. When we were on vacation, I took her to school 2 mornings, and she does her makeup in the car, and she's like a pro at it already. And she opened up her bag and all this. Yeah, she just started wearing makeup at 13. My wife allowed it at 13. And she
Did it blow your mind?
Yes, I couldn't believe it. She's like, now, when you take this exit, I start my makeup routine. And I said, you do? And she said, yeah, it takes me exactly the amount of time from this exit to school to get the makeup done. And so she was putting it on and just on and on. I couldn't believe it. And then, she'd take the rearview mirror and turn it away from me. And
Where do you learn it?
I don't know. I think it might
I always wondered that about females. They put makeup on. Where do they learn?
Well, now she learns it online.
Now it's YouTube, but I would imagine, the magazines of the day, 17 probably had that.
Yeah.
Here's how
Cosmo.
to.
Or your parents. Did your mother I said, did your mother
Your
teach
bigger
you?
sisters might.
I said to my daughter, did your mother teach you that? She said, God, no. I go online,
Have you
And
seen
your
her
friends.
makeup?
YouTube.
Your friends who have fast sisters.
Yeah, your friends, I guess. That's what it
She
is.
said YouTube was the spot to do it. And then,
So how many products do you think she uses?
well, I don't know, 4 or 5. But she did do the thing with the eyelashes.
Okay.
And she
The
did.
lashes are important.
She kept on the base and a little lip gloss and so forth.
Wow.
It was nice. It was understated. I said, it looks really good. She did a really good job with it. Now, if I was a girl, you're talking about purses,
Yeah, what would you carry?
tampons, mints.
Could you be more cliche?
Clean,
Watered up Kleenex.
Kleenex.
A lipstick.
A lipstick.
Got to have a lipstick.
Rouge, mascara, all of those
A
items.
little compact.
A little compact.
Compact, maybe to powder your
I
nose.
want a compact. These are the things that I would use.
Remember the old, there was an old game show, I don't know if you called Let's Make a Deal.
Yes.
At the very end of the
Yeah.
show, when they were just killing time right
Yeah.
before the credits ran, the host would go through the audience and say, if you got a deck of cards in your purse, I'll give you $10.
I wouldn't have.
love that.
I did
Yeah.
too, but I would
love
never.
that part of the game.
Bobby pins.
Yep.
There you go.
Tweezers. I would have all these needle and thread.
Yep.
Buttons
For mending?
For mending
On the go?
and sewing.
What are you carrying around, a Samsonite?
You never know. You never know. And I would have a big bag with a sandwich, just in case. You never know when you're a bottle of water.
Checkbook,
It's got some
pen.
weird stuff in this drag queen's purse, Chief.
Yeah, he's a freak, man.
Here's the one real cliche with everything in here. It's a mince, a sandwich,
Tampon, needle and thread, juicy fruit gum.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
have
yeah.
in there. I don't know. The list goes on. I could probably think that's just me. Of course, never
And chances are you have a funeral card from somebody you know who died.
yes, all of those
Whose
things.
funeral we went to last year.
News recipes from the newspaper.
Cutouts, yep.
Cutouts I would put in there. These are the type of things. Checkbook, as Chris Demm
It
said.
is amazing how people used to carry photographs
Yes.
in their wallet. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
if you look at old wallets, they
Oh,
had
yeah.
enormous little
Yeah.
plastic sleeves where you could put photographs. That's where you would show.
Absolutely.
Hey, this is my kid's school picture.
They didn't swipe it.
These are my
There
grandkids.
they are.
Right. Yeah, you just have one.
This is my sweetheart.
Now, my first wallet, my Velcro wallet, my mother said, put your own picture in there. Show it off to people. And I did. That was the only picture I had in it for a long time. It was in my high school, and I had my my ninth grade picture, and then all the way up, every year I'd put a new picture in there, my school picture. And then when, girls wanted to see it, I'd say, there, take a look.
I see you. I don't need to see your picture.
That's your face.
You're here.
I know.
Hey, Chief, we got some weird stuff in this weird kid's wallet. And it looks like mostly pictures of himself through the years.
Good God, that's sick.
How self-centered can a man be?
Yes,
Pictures of
I
yourself.
most certainly did. Another.
Does your daughter carry a purse?
She does.
Or backpack?
It's backpack. That's where she got all her makeup, was her backpack.
But if she were to go to an event, like a dance or something, would she carry a small purse?
I imagine she would, but I don't think I've seen that yet.
Okay.
It's all backpack on the way to school and such. This is another good story. A horse has returned after 8 years of being lost and running with wild Mustangs in northern Utah. Can you imagine? Yes, I know, it's surprising. There's a guy named Shane Adams. He lost his horse, Mongo. He was
Him, Mongo.
Pawn in game of life.
he was camping in the West Desert of Utah, and it was the West Desert of Utah 8 years ago, and he had tied up Mongo outside his tent where he was camping, but not tight enough. And when a herd of wild Mustangs ran past, Mongo took off with them. He was
saddled or unsaddled?
He was unsaddled, and the camper Shane Adams was nude in the tent.
Yeah.
And when he
That's
came
your
out,
transportation.
he ran after him,
Mongo!
buck naked, in a herd of wild Mustangs. Couldn't catch him. Could not jump on the back of him nude in any way. And so he was distraught. He reclothed himself, made it home. I don't know how. He got
How
home.
far out was he?
That's a good question. But he did get home. Maybe he had another person with him and was able to ride on the back of their horse or something. Anyhow, he said, I always loved Mongo so much. He spent every weekend for 3 years traveling back to the western desert of Utah to try and find that horse. And he would go out on the hills of Utah and scream Mongo at the top of his lungs.
He ran calling Mongo.
Mongo's down there. You hear something?
Now,
Isn't that you, dude?
Never mind.
Aren't you Mongo?
Mongo, that guy's here again. Oh, God, I know.
Trying to get away from him,
Will
what,
not leave.
7, 8 years ago?
Now, he said after he ran out of money and asked everybody he could think of, how can I get Mongo back? He almost gave up, but then he called BLM to notify them.
Black Lives Matter?
That's exactly what I thought.
They get horses?
I thought, well, look at Black Lives Matter going after horses and helping people. Good. That's a good way to...
Yeah.
Turns out it's not Black Lives Matter. It stands for something else.
The Bureau of Land Management.
Well, they're big out in Utah.
Real big
Lots of land.
to manage.
I don't know why I pictured a bunch of black people going
Yeah.
after Mongo. Not the case. Not the case. I was reading this with a
Presented
tear.
a search party. But you're all black.
That's right.
What we do.
That's what we do.
God, I bet the mixed up calls those two organizations get.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yes.
Oh,
I know.
The hate on the Facebook pages.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bureau
Each
of
one.
Land Management. That's right.
Yeah.
Each one. The Bureau of Land Management apparently this week, a week ago, rounded up a herd of Mustangs near a military property also in Utah. And one of the horses seemed tame. And was instantly able to be saddled. And they said, there's something going on here. This is somebody's horse. Well, they checked Facebook and so forth and found that this man, Shane Adams, had lost that horse 8 years ago. And they called him because he had registered with BLM.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we think we got Mongo down here. And so he drove to West Utah, and there was Mongo. And he brought him home, and now he has that horse. He's like exact same. It's like he hadn't missed a beat. He's lost some weight.
I bet.
He is, in fact, 200 pounds underweight. They're getting him back up again.
I mean, what do wild horses eat? Just grasses?
Grasses, I
They can
guess.
find, yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what but they're not getting oats or anything like that or corn.
Right,
There's nothing fatty in there.
right. Mongo is 18 now. He was 10 when he was lost. I don't know how long horses...
It's one of those incredible journey style.
It is.
Yeah,
It
stories.
is. So he got him back. I thought that was so nice that was able to happen, you know?
You do think things are
I did.
nice.
It's a good story. And, of course, at first I was like, good for Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, we're all one. But it turned out it was a Bureau of Land Management.